Hey everyone, I'm Bashanta from Smart Guide. In this video, I'm going to show you one of the distributed project for the disease research thing, like all kind of disease, Alzheimer, cancer, and many other diseases are being researched, and the latest one is being coronavirus. With a project initiated by Stanford professor, and this is a project that runs on individual computer. If you allow it to run, then that will be a real help for the entire team that is focused on the identification of the disease behavior and to find out the medicine for the disease. So let's look at that, what is folding at home and why it's important, and then what can you do. I'll show you one demo and quick demo on my PC as well. And if you download the app and allow it to run on your computer while you are not using, or even if you are using it, you can allow it to run on the low resources, small resources. You can choose low, medium, or full scale of the execution. So let's look at it, and then at the end I will show you demo. Folding at Home is a distributed computing project. I already mentioned it is focused on the disease research, and that simulates the protein folding. Protein folding is basically the framework for our entire biological structure, and it also focused on the design and other types of molecular dynamics. It utilizes the idle resource on the personal laptop or the computers or even mobile applications volunteered by the owners throughout the world. And you want to install the app if you want to help, or you can help it by donation or anything else. There are many ways you can help it out, but the smallest thing you can do is allow this program to run on your computer while you are not using. That's the best thing you can do while you are not using. At least it's being used for some kind of disease research. So all the operating system it supports are Windows, Mac, Linux, and Android, starting 4.4. Nowadays Android has almost all the devices on the world has 4.4, because 4.4 is even too old. And if you have Android device or Windows or Mac or Linux, anything that's not used, or even if you are using that you won't be using all the time, when you are not using, just run that application. That will help the entire project to research. Next slide. Proteins are the chain of molecular machines that made of amino cell acids, and the combination of those protein molecules in chain form, or the combination and its structure by folding, makes entire biological structure that works on different behavior, like whether you feel something when it hit by someone or something, and you taste, or those every biological feelings and those things are depend on the different folding of the proteins. So these proteins are also the basis and driving force behind all the biological chains and the reactions I mentioned earlier. And how do they carry out functions like antibody or the enzyme is totally depends on the shape of the molecular form and how do they fold. Before they work, they make their shape by folding themselves between themselves. So what kind of structure they made, what kind of folding they use is totally depend on their behavior, total outcome or the behavior of those folded structure. And combination of those folding makes the overall biological structure work in a manner that we operate every day. When protein does not fold correctly or it misfolds, then it doesn't work properly and our biological system doesn't work properly. These are the examples of these some disease like Alzheimer's disease, Huntington disease, cystic fibrosis, even the cancer. These are example of kind of misfolding of the proteins. To help tackle coronavirus, the first thing is to understand how these viral proteins, again these virus are protein cells and molecules, how this virus works. We need to understand before finding the solution for that. So to help tackle the coronavirus, the first thing is to understand how these viral proteins works and how the therapeutics how it can be designed, how therapeutics to stop them can be designed. In order to understand the proteins, there is a need of a lot of research and lot of simulation, and for that simulation it needs a lot of power and resource, and that's computational power as well as the computational resource. And nowadays there are so many supercomputers out there, but why not utilize the idle resource throughout the year, throughout the world, and that help us on the disease research. So this is the main point of folding at home, and when it can be used when the PC of every person or any person who volunteered can be used for the research, that makes total sense in this scenario. You can choose how much resource you want to utilize for that program, even low, medium or fully scaled, and you can allocate the folding for that level. And you can also choose whether you want to run it only during idle or you want to run it while you are working. That kind of settings you can do, and preference you can set, and then you can start the program. You can download the program from foldingathome.org/startfolding. I'll paste these links in the description section. I'll paste one of the link from the recent blog from the Folding at Home regarding this coronavirus research, so that you can read it in details about that. And as I mentioned earlier, it can be the resource of your PC can be divided between your work and the program that you install from the Folding at Home, or you can only allow it when it's when your PC is idle, depending on your use case. But I suggest you to use only when it's idle, or even if you use while you're working, use at the very low level, not on the fully scaled manner. That may slow down your other programs. And let's look at the demo. For that I need to step out from the PowerPoint. So let's look at the demo. This is my program I downloaded on my MacBook. And note one thing, that it may be a little bit different on the MacBook, Linux, or the Windows, or even in Android. The appearance may be different, but the options are pretty similar, and similar kind of settings should be available one way or the other. In Windows, you may be able to access web control, or in Linux or Mac you may not be able to. Whether you are not able or not to access the web control, you can also control all these things like folding power, light, medium, full, all those things from the control panel over here. You can have all the configuration settings. You can set up for the remote control kind of things, remote access by setting the password and those things. And you can run in export mode if you know, but you don't need all those settings. But the basic thing you need is you may choose light version and then start using the fold icon. This is kind of play button, but it's actually starting the program, and you can pause anytime if you feel it's overtaking your resource and you don't want to use it for some time. You can pause it, and if you feel like you don't want to run it again all the time, then just close it. You can also uninstall if you want, but when you are not using your resource, it's better to utilize by someone else, or I mean some good purpose. So that's the purpose of this folding at home. And this is folding at home control panel, FAS control panel. As I mentioned, configuration, and there are various other preference you can set. And at the basic, you don't need to set so many things. At the basic, you just need to know this kind of thing, like folding power, what level you need to choose. I suggest you to choose at the light if you are using side by side. If you are not using your PC and it's standalone, you don't have any program running, you can give it a full capacity or medium capacity depending on your choice, and then start using the fold icon. That's all you need to do. And you can also monitor how the molecules are working together. I started a few minutes ago and it's now 17% for this snapshot kind of. They run the different snapshot and different work unit, and this work unit is 17% on my PC. So it depends on how much resource I want to use. If I use full scale, then it may be faster. If I use low level, then it may be slower, but still we are helping at some point. That's the basic thing of folding at home. Please download and start this app so that you can help them research on the coronavirus as well as some other diseases. It's not only about coronavirus, there are a lot of other diseases on the research. Like I said before, Alzheimer, cancer, and SARS and all those things were researched by these programmers. So help them, and they will help you to find out the medical solution. So that's my time today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe and share my channel and videos, like my Facebook page, and don't forget to click on the bell icon next to subscribe button to get notified of my future videos. If you haven't watched my previous videos, go ahead and watch. Feel free to comment if you like to know something or have feedback for me. Until next video, have a good time. Bye bye.